let's go through the grades of solder. So you've got a hard solder, a medium solder, and an easy solder. Your hard solder melts at the highest temperature, and then your easy solder melts at the middle, at the lowest temperature, and your medium solder melts in between all of that. So you're looking at, and the hard, the medium, and the easy doesn't mean, that hard is harder and medium is in between and easy is easier in regards to strength. They're all equal strength. What it does mean is hard melts at a higher temperature and easy melts at, a lower temperature. So if you were to start with easy solder, you're kind of starting at the bottom of the temperature that you can put into a piece. The reason why you start with hard solder, and you start with hard solder for ring making, every initial solder that you make, when you're going to be making subsequent solders, needs to be hard solder because it melts at like 820 degrees. So if I want to add more to this, which I'm going to, so I've made my bezel with hard solder because it's going to take a higher temperature for me to reach to open up that solder again. I'm going to drop down to medium solder to add that solder to the sheet. So add that bezel to the sheet with medium solder because that melts at a lower temperature. So it's something like 760 degrees. So we're going from 820 degrees to 760 degrees. So for me to get to the 760 degrees, I know that my hard solder is still going to be solid. Then after that, if I wanted to add something like a bail or a jump ring or something, then I could go down to my easy solder because that melts at 680 or 690 degrees. So that means that I'm not going to open up my medium and my hard solder because I'm not reaching those temperatures. If you start off with easy solder straight away, you will have a big mess by the end of it because everything will open up on you. If you do easy for your bezel, you put that on there, and then you do easy for that, you'll find when that starts to melt, when you put the bezel on there to melt it, to secure it to the sheet, the bezel wire will actually open up and you'll end up with a gap. And then if you try and put something else onto that, then you're using easy solder again, or you can use extra easy, but you're limiting yourself down to 2 solders. So my recommendation is always start with hard solder. I go through hard solder more than any other solder because I know that every solder I've started with has been with hard solder, and that nothing, if I want to go back to a piece and I want to add something to a piece, then I know that that initial solder, even if it's a ring that I've made and it's a plain ring, and then I want to jazz it up to something else, then I know that I've got medium, easy, and extra easy if I really want it, to add all those subsequent pieces. So when you're making a piece and it's going to be quite complicated, you really kind of need to look at adding, like kind of grouping the pieces that you're going to put together. So you've got hard, 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 and then you're going to put them together with medium, and then you're going to attach something with easy. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense, Dan. So thank you for the question, Sandra, and great explanation, Dan.